of prizes today. First of all, there's the exhibitor raffle. This is 100% free. Take those passports, they're colorful, that Fabian made, they're around in locations. Go to the exhibitors, meet them, greet them, get them to sign them. There's front and back, make sure you get both sides. My students always forget the other side. Yeah, you all know that. And then put that in the box, that's on the registration table, and you can win some really cool things. I don't know what the cool things are, but they're cool, I'm sure. Right? Okay, great. And then the other wonderful thing we have is the 50-50 raffle. So put your money in, donate, help us out. AITE needs you. We're coming back from COVID, and we're going to be bigger and better than ever, right? Yeah. So read all about that on Sketch. There's also information at the leadership table and registration and all that jazz. And then lastly, we have our fabulous raffle prizes. There are some Chicago Central ones and some national ones. There's some really cool things. There's like a wine experience. There's tickets to, I think, Steppenwolf, maybe? Yeah. The Goodman. The Timeline Theater. The Ferris wheel, but not for the month of July. But the Ferris wheel. And lots of wonderful things. Oh, cookies. There's cookies. Yes. Yeah. Really good cookies, apparently. I don't know. Did I cover everything, Vivian? All right, great. Then we're going to turn it on over to Oliver Schusted if she's ready to go. Never mind. We're not. We're turning it over to exhibitor spotlights.
I'm back with more exhibitors, but today it's gonna be even better. So please welcome Kevin Schneider from Ludus to speak a little on Ludus.
Thank you so much, Fabian. I'll keep this very short because no one ever said, gosh, I wish this speech was longer. My name is Kagan. I work here at Ludus. Ludus was originally founded by a local high school theater director who was frustrated with some of the options that were out there and wondered, why can't it do more? Why can't we be better? So a student actually built the program at the time. So really interested in continuing that connection that is built. I'm a former educator myself. A lot of the people that work here at Ludus are educators, work in the performing arts world. We really appreciate the work you're doing. I am a quitter. I left, but I still get to work with all of you amazing people. So first off, thank you for everything you do. Ludus at its base is online ticketing, but there's so much more. Marketing opportunities, fundraising campaigns, our newest volunteer management, so you can manage all of your volunteers. We want to take things off of your plate so that you can spend more time focusing on what matters, which are your students, your productions, and your art. So if you want to learn more about that, or you just want to meet and greet, feel free. I'm right out in the hall. I'll be here all day. Thank you so much for everything you do, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the conference.
And now we're going to hear from Jonathan from Youth Plays.
I brought visual aids. Probably more great to use. I don't know. So you may know that the Youth Plays, obviously we are right out there. We've got lots of scripts. We are a publisher with a focus on plays that have significant age-appropriate roles for younger actors. Our wheelhouse is middle school, high school, but we also have a very strong theater for young audiences and elementary collection. Some things that you may not know, though, is that on our website, we have a whole collection of scenes and monologues from our plays that you can use absolutely for free in your classroom or for auditions. There are literally dozens and dozens of them. We're adding more all the time. You may also not know that we have something called the New Voices one-act play competition. These are for playwrights 19 and under. We actually have an anthology with some of the winners, and each one gets published individually, and they win money and they get actual regular royalty contracts, and we treat them just like professional playwrights. We also now, our musicals have QR codes in them. So you can get the book here at a conference, but you can also now just zap that QR code and you can see a perusal of the entire score for you. Also, to make your lives easier, because we know that you're doing so many things in the classroom, if you purchase one of our scripts, and you want to produce it, when you go back to the website for the rights, you have a choice of cast copies, and they are very shiny, but we also have something called a production copy license, which is a PDF file and permission to make unlimited copies for the cast and crew. And if you just want to use a play in the classroom, we have something called a classroom copy license, same idea, PDF file, unlimited copies, and as long as you stay at your same school, you don't have to repurchase that classroom license every year. It's like purchasing a digital classroom set. Now, something that we are particularly excited about, you may have maybe gone to the presentation, Mind Matters, so Pieces of Mind. We are so proud to have partnered with UCF and Orlando Family Stage, 10 plays about teen mental health. I only have 2 copies left. However, we're going to run a special deal that we will give you free shipping if you decide to get it at conference. We have a number of other great titles that just came out, including Triangle, which is about the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire, The Samurai Howl, which is a sort of werewolf fantasy coming of age at summer camp. It's super, super fun. We have a new Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is sort of a play within a play situation, and a really smart and sassy, beautiful Wizard of Oz. We've got a lot of new things coming, including a beautiful new show from Claudia Haas, who's a past distinguished play award winner. Please come talk to us, or me in this case, I am the us, at our table, and browse scripts, get on our email list so you can find out what's coming and how we can help you. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, good morning. How's your conference going? I am so pleased to be here with you this morning, not as your conference co-chair, but as a teacher. So again, I'm Aubrey Chusin, and I teach high school at Stevenson High School, which is in Lincolnshire, about an hour northwest of here near the Marriott Theater. You can also win tickets to the Marriott Theater, the raffle. Check it out. But I am absolutely delighted to have 4 incredible young performers here with us this morning who are sharing original slam poems. These students actually created these poems in their 3rd semester of acting classes when they were sophomores and a junior. So now they're rising juniors and a senior. And these are personal, honest, and incredibly beautiful, and I hope that you enjoy their work, and I hope that it makes you think. So I will invite up our first performer.
Hi, my name is Lily Levitt, and my poem is called Ignore the Eye. D-Y-S-L-E-X-I-A. Okay, sorry. I have a non-specific reading disability learning disorder, which you probably already know, because I make it my mission for everyone to know, to hide my insecurities, my thoughts, my feelings, to hide inside the cage of my mind. My mind, which was taught that I was stupid, taught that my worth is represented by a number on a paper, taught that the dyslexic girl is all I will ever be. I am the little girl who learned she was different. Spell dyslexia. D-I-S, no. D-I-S, no. It's a Y. Ignore the I. Ignore the I. Ignore the I. Ignore the I. I am paint on a canvas, molding to what the user wants, rotting and waiting for approval. The paint dries, and now I'm stuck. What do I want? What do you want? Where do I go from here? Maybe I go back to my statements. I am cool because I value, I fear. I fear that my children will grow up in a world where war and hate are the only thing in their head. I fear that I'll get kidnapped or raped when I'm alone at night. But ignore me. Ignore the I. Because I am just the little girl who learned she was different because she was Asian. But not Asian enough. Not white enough. Not connected to my culture so my ethnicity doesn't count. So if I hide inside the cage of my mind, Taught that my worth is represented on my ability to speak Korean. Taught that the mixed girl is all I will ever be. I'm not trying to say I'm not like other girls. I'm not throwing a pity party. Maybe I don't even know why I'm writing this. Maybe I'm writing this as an excuse to vent. Maybe I am dead. A ghost, lost in her thoughts, feelings, mind. But paint on a canvas is beautiful. A memorial of kindness and effort, because even if I'm just the dyslexic girl who learned she was different, I am also Lily Levitt, the woman who's going to show the world just how great I can be. D-Y-S-L-E-X-I-A. Thank you. Sorry. Take your time. Got it.
Woo!
Hi, I'm Ava. Well, hi, I'm Ava Davis, and this is my poem, 3 Hours. 6:30, snooze my alarm. 6:40, get out of bed. 6:50, and I'm getting dressed. I laid out my clothes last night, and yet I changed 3 times. Everything feels too tight, too itchy, too wrong. 7, and I'm doing my makeup. 7:15, and I'm packing my bag. 7:20, and I'm downstairs. But I'm not. It's 7:20, and I'm still in my room. It's 7:20, and I'm staring at the clock while finishing my makeup. It's 7:25, and my bag isn't ready. It's 7:30, and now I'm crying. It's 7:30, and I'm not late for anything yet, but my head tells me I failed, and my body tells me to run. It's 7:35, and I'm crying at my mom, but my mouth doesn't know how to say what's wrong. It's 7:43, and I missed the bus. Now I am late for something, and the tears just fall, fall, fall. It's 7:50, and the makeup I was late for is all gone. It's 7:50, and the clothes I changed are too warm and too much, and it feels like something is crawling up my arms and into my head and possessing me because I can't think, and I don't know, and I can't know, and all I know is that my throat is red, and my face is raw, and my eyes aren't dry, and it's 8:10, and my dad is waiting in the car. It's 8:10, and I'm screaming inside and out. My throat was raw before, but it must be bleeding now because nothing matters, because what's the point of going at all? If I was 5 minutes late, then the morning is ruined. If the morning is ruined, then the day is ruined. If the day is ruined, then the week is ruined. If the week is ruined, then the month is ruined. Then my life is ruined, and everything is ruined, and I hate everything, and everything is stupid, and it's 8:50 a.m. My mom called me in late. I dry my face. I do what I can to make my skin less red and my eyes less puffy. Everything aches from the adrenaline that has left my veins, and the tears I swept from my face is the only energy I had with them. It's 9 a.m., and all I want is to go back to sleep, to curl up and hide, but I can't because it's 9:21, and people are walking so slow that it seems their only mission is to keep me there. It's too bright, it's too loud. I am shoved to my next class, and the emotions rise back up and threaten to spill out, but I go because it's 9:26. No one can see how I feel, even though I thought I was wearing it on my face. The tears spill and burn my skin just like the clothes I changed 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's 9:30 a.m. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sankai Legata, and this is my poem, In the Eyes of the World. What are you? Well, I'm a human. No, but what are you? 3 easy words, but that's a question so hard to answer. They say that as a teenager, you don't need to know this, but it's to push you towards you knowing what you are, and then the moment that you say you do, that they judge you out loud. What are you? Well, I'm Mexican. But you don't look like you are. But I'm
Karoneka, Minarisotoneka, lo dicen todo. My beautiful mother tongue que juntan tantos sonidos hermosos. That's not only the Spanish that you hear out in the streets, but also los hermosos dialectos que escuchas de Yamiclana, Panahuiscano, Wikicasayana, Panecaraquiana. My beautiful food that you hear everywhere around the world, las tacos, tomás, pompas, enchiladas, pata, pozole, penudo, and so on. But what are you? Well, I'm a high school student. But you don't look like you are. But my eyebrows and my tired face are red. My back hurting because I don't just carry my books around, but the weight of my future too. Because I carry all the A's and B's, but also all the C's and D's, the weighted and unweighted GPA, the curriculars and co-curriculars. But what are you? Well, I'm a friend. But you don't look like you are. But my worries and my smiles say God, and it's on my face when I realize that I've given too much. My puffy eyes when I get splashed with the truth to know that I'll never actually be a best friend of anyone. But what are you? Well, I'm a girl. I think. Well, I'm a girl. And you don't look like you are. But every hour that I spend every day, every morning, every night trying to scrape away every pimple, every stretch mark, every hair, every imperfection, say it all. My pretending phone calls every time that I walk alone at night because they're safe and sorry. My don't cry too much, don't laugh too hard because it's not ladylike. But what are you? Well, I don't know. I am everything and nothing all at once. I'm a whole in space that's around itself. I'm the face of love generations and a mind full of ideas. I don't know what am I, but I know what I was, and I know what I'll be, and I'll be whatever the heck I want.
Hi, my name is Nora Hunt, and my STEM poem is The Therapist Friend Hotline. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, hello. How are you today? I welcome you with open arms. This is a therapist friend, and she is ready to never complain. She is the good friend, the one friend, the only true friend, who will listen, whose words come out only as fast as thumbs can type. Her sentences blur together in a stream of messy rambles and clog her windpipe. Her essays of comfort and advice she'll never apply to herself. Building passages out of paragraphs. She'll have page wrongs just for you to rest. She won't say anything about herself, despite the fact that she has wilted petals of her once beautiful roses. But she'll water your flowers, watch them grow and strive, and forget her own. She'll water them with your tears, turn your painful insecurities into reasons to keep living, a sight to keep on seeing. Her own flower that has been turning brown, and wilted petals hang loose because her daisy problems and I herself have been drowned with a flood of societal expectations and endless amounts of anxieties, debating selfishness over selfishness and overthinking of stating needs while she waits for you to type. Welcome to the Therapist Friend Hotline, the only hotline where your vents and insecurities are safe in the mind of the 16-year-old girl. The only hotline that has her staying up late at night worrying, waiting just for you to finish your sentence and make her worry more. She won't ask about herself because when she does, she gets dry texted and full of sorries that don't mean anything because they're not sorry, they're just bad at their own goddamn feelings. She won't complain when you vent without asking, despite the fact that she's just barely grasping the means of her own self-worth and problems. Her world revolves around the friends that she chooses spinning in an endless solar system that has no light for her. But she'll never complain. She'll never complain where she has nights where she wonders if she's pretty enough, or smart enough, or good enough, because she'll never be good enough in her own eyes, and you haven't given her the reassurance that she needs. But she doesn't want to be more of a burden than the burden you already carry. She won't talk about herself because she loves you so much to even think about herself, because I am the therapist friend despite not being a professional. Because I am the therapist friend without the training or the resources, because I am the therapist friend and you are my client and I will never talk unless you ask. So ask. Just ask. 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 Ask! Please leave a message after the beep.
world around them. Working to provide Steppenwolf Theater with a teen perspective, members offer their expertise on and help curate programming for their peers. Through learning about the inner operations of a large arts institution, teens are introduced to theater professionals and participate in weekly workshops and learning opportunities. Members have the opportunity to cultivate leadership skills, explore the professional world of theater, meet fellow arts appreciators, and have fun. I'm so excited to welcome Abby, Jalen, Ren, Ozzy, and Gus from the Steppenwolf Young Adult Council here for our keynote panel.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I just want to give another shout out to the amazing performers. Secondly, I know it's the last day of the conference, but I just wanted to say welcome to Chicago from here. I'm so glad that you have been able to experience the brilliant work of Albany Park Theater Project and Free Street. Our pals over there are doing such beautiful work, and so I'm just so glad that y'all got to experience that as well. And I genuinely believe that to truly get to know a city, you have to talk to the youth of that city. So I'm glad that you got to experience that this week as well. So I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Abby. I use they, them pronouns. I am the Director of Education and Engagement at Steppenwolf Theater. And I'm excited to be here with you today with my colleague Jalen and our amazing teams who are also recent graduates. So this is a beautiful sort of full punctuation for them as well. And we're really thrilled to be able to share some of the council, and really for me, I'm excited to talk about teen voice and teen agency. So before we dive in, I'm gonna invite one of our teens, Ozzy, to come up here and share with you all a yak tradition, which is our grounding breath. So before every yak meeting, one council member leads a breath, however they want, to help ground us into the space. And Ozzy's actually gonna read some words that they wrote for our end of year celebration from early June for the breath today.
Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me well. As the golden views of the past 4 years fade gently into the horizon, we gather here, cradled by the echoes of Wednesdays. Time, like the Young Adult Council, has carried me through the valleys of my youth, the highs and lows of coming into my own, solidifying my passions, and sculpting me into, oh wow, I can't read, and sculpting me with its tender flow. Today, I stand on the shores of a new beginning as anticipation becomes nostalgia, reflecting on the importance of community, courage, a grounding breath, and however much of the Steppenwolf budget I have gone into personally on Walker Street snacks alone. At this moment, let us honor the chapters that have shaped us and turn the page, embracing the promise of the next year with hearts full of hope. Welcome to the celebration of growth, theater, and the infinite possibilities that lie ahead because of this family. I invite everyone in this room to join me in our yak breath. Take a few seconds to ground yourself. Maybe make sure your feet are on the floor, and I'll slowly count down from 3, and then we'll inhale and exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. I'm gonna pass this back to Abby. Thank you.
Thank you so much for offering us that space and that grounding. Okay, so before I pass it to my amazing team here, I just wanted to take a minute to zoom out and talk a little bit about Steppenwolf, our education department, and our young adult council to offer some more context for what you'll hear from this amazing team. So, Steppenwolf was founded by teens who met when they were in high school and who early in their college years started putting up plays in a church basement, and then they just kept putting up more and more plays. So it is that teen spirit and energy that is still the heartbeat of Steppenwolf, and specifically our education and engagement programs. And the heart of our education programs is our Young Adult Council, which is going into its 18th year this fall, which is super, super exciting. It has been my absolute joy running the program for the last 6 years before handing it off to the amazing Jalen, who has been absolutely crushing it and has taken the baton. So what is the council? The council is a 9-month after-school program where teens from all over the Chicagoland area meet weekly, form an ensemble, and learn about the inner workings of a theater like Steppenwolf, and more deeply engage the world that we're in. It is a council between 20 and 30. This coming year, we have 31 teens who are on the council who meet weekly, which is super exciting. We consider it a professional development program where teens learn about career paths, meet staff and ensemble, develop social emotional skills, a sense of community, and also, yes, develop skills around theater. But more importantly for us, for Steppenwolf and the education department, it is a reciprocal relationship to the theater to have with our amazing community of Chicagoland teens who have so much to offer us. The only other thing I wanted to share with you is a bit about our values at Steppenwolf and Steppenwolf Education. So we're going through a lot of change at Steppenwolf. I'm sure that many of you might also be going through a lot of change at your institutions. And for me, leading in this moment has meant, it's really important for me to carve out space to come back to reiterate and newly articulate and steward this change through our values. So as we head into our next season, we've articulated 3 core values that really ground us in what we hope to cultivate with our constituents of teens, educators, and community partners, as well as how we approach building this next chapter of programming. So, part of our mission is that our first line is that we celebrate the learner, maker, and appreciator in each of us. And through that, we do that by rebellious imagination, creative inquiry, and collaborative art making. So for me, rebellious imagination are the skills, capacities, and tools we need in how we approach the world around us. Creative inquiry are the skills, capacity, and tools we use to approach a work of art. And the skills and capacity and tools we cultivate to work together with our Steppenwolf ensemble ethos is rooted in collaborative art making. And so for us, this is really a North Star and is really helping us, guide us into this next chapter. And the Young Adult Council also, when I talk so much about values, our council also is really excited to cultivate and create their own values too. So under that, the YAC core values, and this was created by our 21-22 Young Adult Council cohort. They went through a process of also talking about what is the council, how do we feel about it, what do we feel in the space, and what do we want to commit to? And so they've articulated leadership, joy, inclusion, accountability, and curiosity as the values for the Young Adult Council. It is, 1, also community agreements for us, and 2, it's helpful to have this just as we welcome new members each year to the council as well. Okay, that's it for me. The TLDR is that we love our council and we value pizza deeply, and I'm so excited to hear directly from them. I wish I could tell you that I didn't pay them to tell you what they're about to say. I'm sure nice words, but they are getting paid because so first up, we have Ren.
Thank you so much, Abby. Hi, I'm Ren Dudney. I use she, her pronouns, and I've had the absolute privilege of being on Steppenwolf's Young Adult Council for the past 3 years. Entering the council, I had a pretty limited perception of what I loved about theater, and that was being on stage. YAC quickly made me realize that there are so many ways I want to engage with the art form in the future, whether it's producing, writing, or even fundraising at a nonprofit theater like Steppenwolf. I feel like my world has grown so much as a result of the people I've met and the experiences I've had at Steppenwolf. One of my favorite things about the council is how involved we are with so many different aspects, programs, and events that are part of Steppenwolf. Just this past week, I had the chance to work and serve food at a veterans night. Seeing how impacted the audience was by the show and by the community Steppenwolf had fostered for them reminded me what a privilege theater is for so many Chicagoans and why I love it. It was super fun serving dinner to the veterans, hearing their stories and telling them mine. Coming from a small high school, I wasn't used to these kind of environments, interfacing with such large groups of people with such different lived experiences than myself. And it is truly such a magical thing for people of all walks of life to see the same show and each glean a different insight and perspective from it. In addition to multiple Veterans Night I volunteered at, one of the most impactful experiences I've had at Steppenwolf was my participation in relaxed sensory-friendly performances. At an RSF performance, I was able to greet guests and help curate a space where people could come see the show and take a break from stimulation. It was amazing to see everything that goes into creating an environment that is responsive to people's needs, desires, and how something as small as a fidget toy can change someone's experience entirely. As someone who experiences theater incredibly viscerally, it was so interesting to learn from the event's coordinator all the ways different people could become overstimulated during a show. One of the most fascinating elements of this event was that in order to accommodate for a variety of needs, every actor, technician, and director had to be flexible with their original artistic vision. Rejecting the rigidity that so often comes with being creative is such an impactful thing. Each person in the cast and crew embraced selflessness in that moment. Art is fundamentally for the audience, and seeing how welcoming and accommodating Steppenwolf was made me realize that so often we limit our idea of who can and can't enjoy theater. Steppenwolf embraces its role in the community, recognizing that it has to evolve and adapt for different audiences in order to remain a pillar of Chicago theater. Outside of the different opportunities we've had access to, over the course of 3 years, I've gotten to attend about 90 weekly YAC meetings, each of which has been completely distinct from one another. Some days are primarily art making, curating the loft and analyzing scripts through collage and drawing. As an avid scrapbooker and amateur collage fanatic, these were among my favorites, and they were kind of an opportunity to connect the tone and quality of scripts to visual arts. Other one of our sessions are traditions, script boot camps, departmental spotlights, ensemble conversations, or artistic workshops. Over the summer, Jalen and Ubby asked each individual YAC member what they're interested in learning or growing over the YAC year and curate these meetings based on our desires. Some of the most interesting meetings are actually when we talk about leadership. Each year, the artistic directors come to YAC for various meetings, which have been incredibly important because there's such a good rapport between the artistic directors and the YAC members. Audrey and Glenn, our artistic directors, genuinely take into account our perspectives and our insight. We're able to give them our reactions to season announcements, scripts that are in consideration, programming decisions they are considering, and any new initiatives they might be building, providing Steppenwolf's leaders with a glimpse into how younger audiences will experience our space. One of my favorite meetings was during my junior year and focused on financial literacy and management for artists. It's such an overlooked topic, and for many members of the council, so not something that others in their life will talk to them about. People often act as though working in the arts equates with chronic financial instability, and this meeting gave me a sense of true empowerment, knowing that how I manage my funds as a creative person will allow me to foster a rich life and relatively consistent streams of income. Another favorite type of meeting for me has been script boot camps. I've always loved reading and doing deep text analysis, and I had the opportunity to read many plays as they were being developed for Steppenwolf, and it was so incredible seeing how the text changes from that first draft to what you see on opening night. YAC was able to have incredibly deep conversations and disagreements about the text because none of us were afraid to disagree with one another. The trust that we've built on the council allows multiple perspectives to be shared without judgment or frustration. I've learned so much from my peers, often leaving the meeting with 5 new conspiracy theories about the script. I recently graduated high school and therefore graduated from YAC, sobbed through my YAC graduation speech because this council has changed who I am completely. I went from being timid in conversations to feeling confident that my perspectives and my insight were valuable to those around me. I learned how to speak and draft and not feel like I need to have a perfect thought to be able to share it. Now leaving the council, I'm entering college to major in theater, not only with a deeper artistic appreciation, but also a deeper sense of compassion for those around me. In addition to feeling the change and growth I've personally had, I also take some pride knowing my voice will forever echo at Steppenwolf, and that my voice has also too changed Steppenwolf. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan. And next up we have Ozzy.
My name is Ozzy. I use they, them pronouns, and I've also had the pleasure of being on the Young Adult Council for 3 years. I joined the Young Adult Council when the pandemic was beginning to stabilize. I hadn't interacted with people my own age in months, and I felt like a shell of the person I am today. I was shy and had yet to define myself as a theater person. I begun acting professionally, managed a few shows in my high school, shout out to Miss Dale Hamilton because we love you, girl. And had just discovered an interest in playwriting. YAC has been a crucial part to my growth as a theater professional and youth in general. I feel like Steppenwolf education helped mold me into the person I am by providing a level of emotional, mental, and artistic support that I couldn't really find at a school. It was an escape into a world where I was surrounded by passionate people from all realms of theater makers, learners, and appreciators. Over the years I was a part of the Young Adult Council, I was able to witness more than 15 shows from page to stage and every part of the process. As YAC teens, we have access to all the scripts, we come to rehearsals, we have the opportunity to observe tech rehearsals, new play workshops, and more. One of the most exciting aspects of being able to join here and, speaking in draft, to join here and there in these processes are the collisions with the artists that happen as a result. The artists understand that the teens are in the space and that their plays will be seen by teens. They've sometimes asked my perspective, and if you know me, I've always given people my perspective. It's what I give. It's amazing not only to have the access to these opportunities, but to feel invited in as a collaborator. Some of my favorite tech observations were seeing the nuts and bolts of the rotating floor for POTUS, and watching Felicia Rashad and the Steppenwolf group seamlessly create harmony between the light cues and character monologues and purpose. Furthermore, by entrusting the council members to bring teens from around the Chicagoland area and introduce them to theater or maintain their presence in artistic spaces, it furthers the lineage of theater companies because it invites the younger generations to engage with an art form that has been around for centuries. Outside of these opportunities to experience all that goes into theater, one of my favorite parts about being a YAC member is our scene events. Scene events, one night, only pre or post show programming specifically orchestrated by council members around a Steppenwolf show. We are responsible for organizing and promoting events which teaches us so much. When I was on the activities team for Oklahoma Howls, I was able to partner with the dramaturgs to learn the historical truths about the play and create an activity for teens at the event to create their own protest posters about causes they felt strongly about. I feel like I was able to offer my ability to work as a part of a team and my prior knowledge about the theatrical arts. Some of my biggest takeaways from the Young Adult Council have been the relationships I have formed with my peers and theater professionals at Steppenwolf, and the knowledge about all the components it takes to run a theater organization. Lastly, I wanted to mention that being on the council is also being an ambassador for Steppenwolf. We've invited hundreds of teens to Steppenwolf for workshops, teen nights, hangouts, and more. Now that I've graduated, I'll continue my ambassadorship in the spaces I navigate, work, college, and more. Steppenwolf has meant the world to me, and I'm excited to give back in this way as well.
Thank you, Ozzy. And the last team, but not least, Gus.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gus. I use he, him pronouns, and I was I could talk about, I am excited to talk about my experience as a teen curator during my second year on the council. An experience that I think encapsulates StepEd's ethos around teen agency. But first, another program run by the Steppenwolf education team are their in-school residencies, where Steppenwolf sends teaching artists to Chicago public schools all over the city, focusing on schools without strong arts partnerships or theater programming. These teaching artists use a curriculum rooted in aesthetic education, which is the pedagogy that Steppenwolf has used for years, but that curriculum is also based around the themes and characters of a Steppenwolf show, which means that Steppenwolf creates new lessons and activities every year depending on their season. These curriculums are built for more than theater classes, but also civics, history, and English classes, and teach not only theater skills, but focus on arts integration, unpacking a work of art, and social-emotional learning. Well, who creates these curriculums? StepEd realized that in order to create engaging lessons that didn't come off as cringe to the teens, the best consultant would be high schoolers themselves. The teen curator system is currently undergoing some reworking and change like a lot of theater institutions. But during my experience, StepEd hired 2 teams from the council twice a year to work with the teaching artists and StepEd staff to create the residency curriculum for a show. I cannot stress enough that Steppenwolf doesn't just host teens in their space, they actively trust them and understand how the company benefits from their voice. The teen council isn't just there for Steppenwolf to say they have a teen council. As a curator, I created a full lesson plan that I felt would engage high school students with the basics of theater and the themes of the show. My lesson, Found Memories, combined the short structures of open scenes with intentional prompts for the facilitator that turned performances into an engaging game for the audience and showing how much acting extends beyond dialogue. This past fall, Found Memories was used in high schools across Chicago and reached hundreds of students through the residency programs. This was only possible because the StepEd team knew exactly how to guide us as we brainstormed ideas and studied the script, but trusted us with full freedom while creating our lesson plans. We were able to bring ourselves into our work and our contributions as both teenagers and artists. The role of the curators also extended far beyond just working with the education team and creating residency curriculums. We interviewed the show's director as promotional material, wrote a welcome letter for the playbill, and consulted on the study guide. Each of us also became a voice in the play's pre-show announcement for public performances and student matinees, welcoming teen audiences with teen voices. It would be impossible to express just how fulfilling of an experience this was, and just how much I learned from working with professional artists and teachers. The Teen Curator program made me feel like a valued part of the StepEd team and in the larger context of the production of Sanctuary City, and that's because I was. Opening night felt like my opening night. Being a curator helped me get into my dream school and find a career in theater. I truly loved this program, and I hope to see the idea of teen curators become a common practice at many more theaters. Thank you.
Also the team's impact on us.
Hello, my name is Jalen Green. I use they, them, and she, her pronouns, and I am the team development and programs producer at Steppenwolf. And in this role, I have the esteemed privilege of stewarding the Young Adult Council program. A pillar that the Steppenwolf Department of Education and Engagement stands on, and a value that is being thoughtfully folded into Steppenwolf as an institution, is the idea of intergenerational learning, intergenerational engagement, spaces, and conversations. We learn just as much from the teens as they learn from us. Intentional collaboration with the Young Adult Council throughout Steppenwolf has raised the level of excellence for all of us. It holds us accountable for the present and the future of our industry in innovative, energizing, and tangible ways. Alongside our young adults, we question systems and structures with fresh eyes, and those of us who have lost our childlike wonder in the profession of pretend find renewed joy in what has become mundane. Steppenwolf co-artistic director Audrey Francis often expresses that she never feels cooler than when spending time with our Young Adult Council. Being a witness to their tangible excitement over the programming of classic works in the season, or the casting of a particular ensemble member, while the adults may feel bogged down after the season planning process. It's been amazing to witness Audrey echo a thought she heard from a teen in an artistic meeting. We may worry how our piece of art or lesson plan will be received, but our council members help us not only to reaffirm the joy that exists in simply creating, but also that it's okay to love what you do, to love art even when it's hard, and to love a story even when it's been told many, many times before. An example of this impact can be found when including our council members in the curriculum building process. The adults in this space sat around and waxed poetic around what should have been a simple phrase, our season theme. In the cacophony of too many voices, one of our teen curators just kind of quieted the room and said, "Why don't you just say what you mean?" This was our reminder that we are building with and not for. We see teens in our curriculum, in our event planning, in our marketing, and on our walls. For me, Steppenwolf's voice is a teen voice. There's a belief that young people should inherently bend themselves to the wills of those more experienced, to those who are wiser. But who can speak better to the teen experience than those currently living it? When asked to graciously or gracefully take a step back and reevaluate how we show up for those that we serve, we get the opportunity to reflect on our own time in an educational setting and potentially the outdated teachings, mindsets, and methods that we've brought along with us. There's school, homework, sports, clubs, college applications, part-time jobs, family obligations. Their days are just as full as the rest of us. And yet somehow Gus managed to read the same play 3 times just because he loved it that much. That is the energy, right? That is the energy that they bring to a space. They remind us that we can be loud about our joy. YAC is a professional development program. When I began my work with this council 2 years ago, I was expecting to show up as a teacher, a mentor, perhaps a cool big cousin if I was lucky, but inherently someone who knew more. I did not anticipate that so much of my own development would happen in the space alongside the young people I was there to serve. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you also to y'all for the work that you do with teens and with young people. And if you have any questions, feel free to come chat with any of us before you leave today. Thanks so much. Am I passing it back to you?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Let's give another round of applause. I am sitting there listening to the keynote and listening to these performances and connecting back to Free Street and to APTP and to a filament workshop I did yesterday, and how exciting it is when you trust youth and are actually listening and authentically engaging them in the work. And so I personally am leaving challenged to find more ways to do that in my work when I go back to New York. So thank you for being here and sharing the work with us. It's been really exciting. We are going to just share some announcements for what we can expect for the rest of the day now. After this keynote, We invite you to go visit the exhibitors, fill out your raffle, do all of those things. At 11:45, we have our annual meeting here, so we invite you to come back. We've said this before, we are a member organization, so your voice is important. This is how you can find out what we've been doing, what we've been up to, and you can have input or sign up to help steer the organization forward. And we also have our awards ceremony later tonight. And Albert, do you want to talk about the party afterwards?
We have come to Chicago to learn, and now we get to party! So tonight, after the awards show, and we do have youth performances. I think Quentin will tell us about. But we're going to have a party right here, ish, right there. And we have a live band. They are youth. They are current college students, an incredible cover band, 6 on Fridays. And we are having food and fun and a cash bar. And our raffles will be drawn then. So our 50-50 raffle and our incredible prizes that you can win will be drawn then. So please come out with us, celebrate our incredible week of community.
Talking about the performances we'll see. I also just want to plug the raffle again. I bought tickets yesterday, and they told me I was the first person. I could take all of the stuff.
I haven't bought mine yet, so I'm going to right after this.
Get your tickets. And then some of the young people that we'll have performing this evening are a part of the, they are the winners, the Chicago winners of the August Full Sing New Voice